awesome, Lester. Thank you, bud. Oh, wow. Thank you, Lester. It's so good to be with you, man. Really is.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
So,
Absolutely.
well, in this week's episode, we get a chance to peer in the depths of Lester's mind. Y'all
luck.
ready for this? Lester's a true Renaissance man. He has been so much to so many people. Lester, he's been an author, a publisher, an artist, multi-instrumentalist musician, songwriter. This is my favorite. Head sound engineer for a traveling all-female supergroup.
Yeah.
And paranormal investigator.
That's right.
So it's awesome to be with you, Lester. You recently finished a book and published yourself, Ed Pinley Paranormal Investigator, and you're in the process of making an audio recording.
That's right. And you're our engineer.
Yep. It's been fun, too. Lester is also focused on his band, Stone Kitchen. They are an acoustic-flavored Americana group that plays several of Lester's and Portia's original music. In this week's episode, we'll talk about how it all got started for Lester in the music world and your book writing endeavors, as well as get a glimpse in what's in the future for you.
That sounds good.
Awesome. So, Lester, how did it begin for you? Why did you start playing music in the first place?
Well, believe it or not, when I was young, I fell in love with the show called The Monkees.
Okay, yeah.
And Michael Nesbitt was my hero. And so I told my mom I wanted to have a guitar. And she goes, okay. And so we went uptown to the guitar place, and the guy taught lessons and everything. And she bought me my first guitar and bought me a month or two worth of lessons.
That's cool.
And then at the end of that month or two, the guitar teacher came back and offered to buy the guitar back and refund the guitar lesson money because he couldn't make any progress with me. He was totally frustrated with me, and I think it has something to do with not paying attention and probably not practicing and all that stuff. But
Really?
so they did. He took the guitar back. He bought the guitar back and refunded the money.
That's insane.
And so that made me really upset.
Right. I mean, I managed a music store, so I could imagine what that conversation would have been like. I can't imagine what that would have been
Well,
like.
it was pretty intense, and so I became angry with that whole episode, and I went to work during the summer and mowed a bunch of lawns, and I worked for my dad at the time too, just cleaning the shop. He had a wood shop. And I saved enough money to go out and buy my own first guitar, which was an Echo guitar.
Okay.
And then I just started teaching myself, playing by ear,
That's
which
cool.
I still do. I can't read music or anything like that, but I play by ear.
Wow.
And,
That's fabulous, man. So you talked about the Monkees. They were early inspirations. What other artists were like early inspirations for you?
Oh man, there's a bunch of them. It's a Beautiful Day, Frank Zappa, John Prine, Townes Van Zandt, all of those guys from back then. And it was a lot of fun checking out their music. So I learned a bunch of John Prine songs and kept working at that, and that was a lot of fun. And so I played guitar until through high school, and then when I was 18, I was in an industrial accident.
Okay, yep.
And I crushed my hands, broke every bone in both hands, and had two of the fingers reattached. And so for 7 years, I didn't play guitar at all because I didn't think I could.
Right.
And a friend of mine asked me, he goes, why aren't you playing the guitar? You can do it, you can do it. And I really didn't think I could. He says, here, I'm going to show you something. You can play one-finger chords. And I'm in, I said. I'm in. One-finger chords that sound great. So he taught me how to do an open G tuning, and I use that exclusively.
Wow. So let's back up. So that's insane. First, you had your teacher tell you suck.
Yeah.
And highly discouraged, you went out, bought your own guitar with your own money after working.
Yep.
And then you get your hands crushed.
Yeah.
And then you reteach yourself guitar.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long road, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I took it.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was quite a eye-opening experience.
So, Indy, tell me about your early projects. Like, what did you like? Some of the bands or that you used to be in.
Well,
early on?
some of my earlier projects was recording with a good friend of mine. He had a recording studio, and he really liked doing it. And he needed volunteers to come in so he could record. So I went there and I recorded a whole bunch of songs that I had written, and we recorded those. And then we got together with another fellow by the name of Bob Rassa and Rick Freilich and Tim Lynn, and we created the band Electric Bob and the Transmitters.
Now, this is in Wisconsin, right?
This is in
Okay.
Wausau, Wisconsin.
Okay, yeah.
And so we played a bunch of bars there and, did the rock and roll scene. And we entered the Budweiser band contest,
Okay.
and we took second place.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. We had a really good time doing that.
That's cool. That's awesome.
And so there was a lot of other musical adventures I did after that as well, which were with a guy named Russ Mattis,
Okay.
and we created a band called Mountain Madness.
Yep.
Yep. And then I got involved with
And that's out here, right?
that's here in
yes.
Colorado.
Yes.
Yeah.
About what year? What year was that?
I would probably say it was in the mid '80s, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was when the Dags were big
Yep. I've heard of them.
and Nobody's Business. All those guys were playing all the bars in Glenwood Springs, and we were all sharing, that opportunity to be able to go out and play music.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And so Mountain Madness used to play at Doc Holliday's. We were the house band for
Okay.
about 5 years.
At Doc Holidays. That's cool.
Yeah. And then after that got sold, somebody bought it. We ended up becoming the house band for Sundance Saloon in Vail. We did that for 5 years.
But that was a good gig.
That was a really good gig, a lot of fun, cold. It was during ski season.
Okay. Right.
know.
Right.
And during that time, one of our players, Paul Sprayberry, who I've recorded with him as well and done a lot of projects with him, he couldn't play anymore. He had a job where he had to go out of town all the time.
Yep.
So we recruited my lovely wife, Portia, to play bass for us.
Yeah, baby.
So that was a lot of
That's
fun.
right.
We had a great time.
Yep. How was that for you, Portia, when you first kind of came into that scene with Lester?
It was great. It was really fun. I was the designated driver. I would always be driving and home at night. Well,
That's
and,
that's good.
in the snow. In the snow, I remember there was a lot of deer on the highway at that time. But yeah, we made it through, and it was fun. A lot of fun.
So you got a tune for us, right?
I do.
Okay. This is now. When was this tune written, and what is it about?
This tune was written probably 35 years ago, and it was written after I broke up with a girlfriend that I had, and she broke up with me because I was always gone playing in a band.
Been away too long.
Been away too long, and so I got smart after a while and married a musician,
Yep.
Portia, and now she likes to practice as much or more than I do. So it's been a great adventure.
Awesome. Well, that's going to be a fun tune to hear you play, Lester. So,
Absolutely.
What we should do, we're going to transition while they get set up here. Misty, tell me about how you felt about when you first saw Portia and Lester play music. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Trying to think when that would have been.
Was it in Iowa?
Yeah. I'll say this, that the first time that I met Portia was in a much more professional setting than most gigs and things. So she was actually like your boss's boss at the time. And so she seemed like a powerhouse of a woman, but seemed very straight-laced.
And she is.
And she is, but maybe not so straight-laced as my first impression of her was. And then we ended up, I only knew Portia through that context. I remember that you were intimidated enough by her that you ate oysters when we were out for dinner with her because she didn't want to say no.
That
and
is true.
Clint notoriously hates all seafood.
Yes.
So
All right. Well, we got a tune, Been Away Too Long.
I was stretched across the night, but reaching out forever. I keep going through all kinds of weather. Another show to do, no time, no waste. Gotta keep going, can't give up the pace. Ooh, been away too long. Ooh, been away too long. I see your eyes in everyone I see. I can't escape your memory, and I hear your sound, and I hear your voice. I turn around to an empty choice. Ooh, been away too long. Ooh, been away too long. I'm in the night air, the stars shine out. I think of only one thing, baby, since I've been gone. Are you alone, or with someone else tonight? Everything we have, when the chances fly. Ooh, been away too long. Ooh, been away too long. Ooh, been away too long.
That song is awesome, man. I love that song.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for that harmony too, Misty. That sounded great. Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Well, it's been I remember playing that song with you guys in a band that we had called Red Dirt River Band.
Absolutely.
And that was a real fun time for sure. We has a real good solid groove, a big fat bass line. Portia was like,
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. A lot of
I love that
original
tune.
music too.
Yep.
Fun.
Red Dirt River
and
Band was known for original, cool songs.
Yep, sure was. So we kind of talked about you met Portia in the mid '80s, right? Is that what we were talking
I
about?
would say more towards the end of closer. I'd say maybe 88, 89,
Okay,
something
cool.
like that.
And then you guys started playing music immediately together.
Well, what happened was she would come and see Mountain Madness play and dance and stuff, and I broke up with another girl at the time, and she had broken up with her boyfriend, and so we were kind of introduced to each other at Carbondale, listening to some band in their park, and I said, "I hear you play guitar." And she goes, "Yes, I do play guitar." And I said, "Well, let's get together and go play guitar." So we would do some a little bit of dating and going out and playing music, and it just kind of went on from there.
That's cool.
But
That's
actually,
awesome.
we did meet before that,
Yep.
and Lester used to be a DJ on KDNK.
Yeah, I remember this.
And before we were together, some friends of mine and we went up and played at KDNK he used to host. It was called the Nobody Famous Show, and we qualified because we were not famous.
Yeah.
And so we went and played, and I was so nervous that I couldn't tune my guitar. And Lester said, "Well, would you like me to tune your guitar for you?" Well, yes, please. And so I thought, well, he's pretty nice and pretty cute too. And so
awesome.
You
years
just happened
later,
to start going to see him play out.
yes,
It's
yes,
hilarious.
Yep.
That's cool. That's awesome. So, Lester, how would you say that meeting Portia has changed your musical style, maybe your songwriting style? How has that impacted?
Heavily. She's
Yeah,
a
sure.
awesome singer-songwriter herself and has a lot of wonderful ideas and is a better musician than I am. She can read music, and so she teaches me a lot of my leads. And so it's changed me. It's made me go down the direction that I'm going right now with music. She supports me with all kinds of stuff. I mean, out of nowhere, I decided that I wanted to be a writer.
Yep.
And so I would wake up at 3 in the morning because I have insomnia now and then, and I would start writing this weird stuff. And I would kind of throw ideas out at her, and she would like look at me like, okay.
How do
And
you
so-
think of these things?
Yeah. She always asks me how
Do
I
you
think
need help?
Yeah. Maybe we should call someone. But she's a wonderful musician, and so she's
Absolutely.
inspiring me to play better and to write different things and to go on with music further than I thought I could
That's
ever
cool.
go.
Yep.
And then with the band that they play in, that she plays in with 4 other musicians,
The Queen Bees.
ladies.
Yep.
Yeah. They've allowed me to learn how to run sound.
Yep.
So I feel bad for them. They went through a pretty hard learning curve for a while, but they stuck with me and they had faith in me, and so I'm just really grateful to them.
That's cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you guys got 2 songs that you want to play in a row?
I think so.
Yep. The Mountain Park and Slow Ride, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. We're
Yeah.
going to change some instruments
Yep.
around.
We're gonna.
And these
do-
we actually wrote together. So
Yeah. These are ones that we wrote together.
okay. This is
while
a good
while-
segue.
while camping and just hanging out.
Yeah, we've done a lot of those camping excursions with you guys. I remember, what was that place that we used to go
It
down
was
to?
Doug
on the
Drage
Missouri-
is always there. He's in Columbia, just outside of Columbia.
like down on the Missouri River.
Cooper's Landing.
Landing,
Cooper's
that's right.
Landing. Like we joined it. We did like a talent show there or something.
That was really fun.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah, we were just camping, and they said you got to come up on stage.
Yeah, then they had us play on Sunday then.
That's right.
Yep.
We were doing some gospel things, and they said, hey, you guys would fit it right in on Sunday.
So we wrote this song up in Mountain Park above Rifle, and kind of celebrating the fact that we had a really wonderful camping trip there when we went. It's one called Mountain Park.
Beautiful, beautiful.
This next one's called Slow Ride, and it's about just going out and about and visiting all the national parks, all the beautiful places across our country. And we just got a new van, and we have done more camping in that van than I think we ever did in the past. And we had a little pull behind
good thing.
camper.
It's good to be retired.
It is a good thing. We're busier than ever.
Pack your bags up, baby, pack your bags up, let's ride. Baby, pack your bags up, baby, pack your bags up, let's ride. Austin, Justin, maybe not Houston. How about Boston? Baby, pack your bags up, baby, pack your bags up, let's ride. Baby, pack your bags up, baby, pack your bags up, let's ride. Redwoods, gonna see those big trees, wrap our arms around them, gonna drop to our knees. Baby, pack your bags up, baby, pack your bags up, let's ride. Baby, pack your bags up, baby, pack your bags up, let's ride.
And that was awesome. You guys
Thank
are
you.
so tight.
Oh,
It's
thank
awesome. You guys
Thank
are
you.
really, really tight. So nice harmony on that too. That was nice, Lester.
That's one of the things Portia's taught me.
Yep, yep.
I was convinced I could never sing harmony.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. Well, you know, I have a calendar where every time that I was right, I put a mark on it.
Really?
I've got 2 marks now.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay, good. Okay, well, we kind of mentioned it, but we got your book that you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago? When did you start this endeavor?
Oh man, I started that probably. Well, let's back up a little bit. Before I wrote this book, I attempted to write a book. My first book was called Voodoo Blues,
Okay.
and it was a lot of ramblings of a crazy guy. You know what I mean? And then the next book I wrote is called October 24th, 1984.
Okay.
And that one is, I'm still editing on it, but it's really close. I'm going to publish it with the publisher I'm with right now.
Awesome.
And then, I don't know, I just started writing weird stuff on the computer late at night. I ended up with Ed Pinley, Paranormal Investigator. So there's a bunch of little adventures in there. I originally wrote it as a radio play.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now that I got to hear
Mm-hmm.
you guys perform the live audio,
Yep.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, it would have been a great, a really good one like that. That would be a lot of fun. And so at KD&K, I wrote a lot of the comedy that our comedy group did. And
Okay.
the name of that group was Eye of Ignorance Theater. And so we wrote a lot of comedy and a lot of little skits and stuff. And I did that with Mark Dempsey and with Paul Sprayberry and Bob Basinger.
Okay.
And we did a bunch of odd little skits during our Nobody Famous show, which then it led into this Ed Pinley Paranormal Investigator, and it's Ed Pinley Paranormal Investigator is a sci-fi fantasy
Okay.
with comedy,
Yep.
a lot of comedy in it, and so it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing it, and it the reason I picked that genre was because there's no rules.
Sure. Absolutely.
I could write anything and go any direction I want, which I did, as Misty knows. And it was really fun to do, and I really enjoy writing.
That's amazing. Now, my wife Misty, she's an English teacher, and you went and spoke at her school
Mhm.
about self-publishing.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yep. Misty, how was the reaction from your students on that?
Actually, I had a lot of amazing reactions. We had been working on poetry all week, so I work at Yampa Mountain High School in Glenwood, and we stop classes for a week about 3 times a year where we just try to do a lot of hands-on learning, and it's difficult to do hands-on learning in English. Here's a book, hold it. I don't know, like it's one of those. So we did creative writing workshops that week, and I asked Lester to come and speak to my group. We had about 10 students in the group, and he did a reading and played some music for them, and they just kind of opened it up for questions, and the students just ate it up. I mean, I had one that was like, this is my favorite day ever. Like, they really had a great time. And then through that, I actually talked to one of my coworkers, John O'Moreau, and he had been writing for a while, and talked to him about your journey on self-publishing, and then another author that we talked to that week also on self-publishing. And so Jono actually just self-published a book as well, so you could check that out on Amazon. But it was just kind of cool. And then now Jono and I are going to teach a class on creative writing next year that's going to incorporate self-publishing into it. So
Excellent.
you've inspired.
That's awesome. That's
That's
awesome.
fantastic.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Way cool. Way cool. Well, let's. So, what challenges did you face in writing this book? Like, what was some of the obstacles you had to overcome?
Learning to know where to put a period.
That's a good yes.
Yeah.
So we're starting at the basic, like punctuation and then
It's
capitalization.
The ideas were there, though.
run-on sentences,
No, yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I had all the ideas in the world as to what I wanted to do. I just needed to be able to, put it together in a way that when somebody read it, they were reading what it made sense to them.
Right,
That's
right.
what we wanted to do, and so that's about it. And it just trial and error, and then my lovely wife, who is also my editor,
Yep.
would go in there and take care of a bunch of stuff, and she would say, "What do you mean in this sentence? It doesn't make any sense."
Were there ever times that you were like trying to explain to him a different way of saying something, and it wasn't quite connecting, or how was that process for you?
I would read it, and I would just maybe be confused about a timeline. I wouldn't really suggest how to reframe it or reword it, because Lester's got a great imagination. His gift of language, and especially conversation, the dialogue was really good. Sometimes I would challenge him because he would already know the end of the story, but how he got there, I'd say, well, how this happened before that, or I'm confused. And he said, well, it's not confusing to me. Well,
I knew exactly.
Everything's coming together right up here.
And then, he'd wake up later that night, 3 o'clock in the morning, and say, well, I got to rework this. How about you read it now and see what you think?
That's cool. That's good. That's awesome. Lester, do you what did you learn from writing your first book? What are some of the things that you learned from doing this?
I would say that I learned that it is possible to do so, and even though it's a very scary thing, when you write something and then you put it, it's just like songwriting.
Right.
When you write a song and you put it out there, I've learned that you can't worry about whatever reaction might be from that. It's your endeavor. It's what you need to do. You got to get it out. And so you just do it regardless of whether you get a great reaction or no reaction. And it was just a voyage in gaining courage to do something that I pretty much all through school was told I couldn't do.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
don't ever tell Lester he can't do something.
No, he's going to figure it out.
It's going to be a problem.
Writing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's so awesome. I mean, yeah, I know what that feeling is. You're learning something. You're trying to put yourself out there. You're doing something, and then all those voices that are negative are usually all from yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where, like, can I do this? Can I accomplish this? Well, who am I to even try this? That kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm sure those things were going through your head at times.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So
That's
I would
awesome.
create like manuscripts and hand them out to friends of mine that I know would be gentle.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's especially when you're trying to do something creative and come up with something. And the last, yes, you want constructive criticism, but you also don't want your bubble burst too much.
No, you want to be able to keep that bubble there.
You got to have confidence to do these things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you got to have courage. Just do it.
Yep.
Just do it. Step on out and just do it.
That's awesome.
It's what I think we should do. But and that's what happened with this audiobook. I had started listening to audiobooks, the audiobook that's going to be from Ed Pinley here that we're producing.
Yep.
I started listening to audiobooks. A lot of them. And that's where I went, you know what? Yeah, I think we can do this.
Yep.
And then I had a bunch of creative friends like you. And then also the cast of voice actors.
Yep.
Tom Cochran, who has been in the Valley for a long time. He's a director, a producer. He's in theater. He's a fine actor. And then Brad Moore, who's also a director, an actor. And of course we had Christian Carlson. She was Xandra in the book.
Yep.
And then we had Jeanette Howell, who she was Violet.
Yep.
Who's in the book. And then Portia was the alien.
Nice.
Lester asked me what part that I wanted to play, and I said, I would like to be the alien.
Yeah. And she wanted to be
That's a
the
good choice.
alien, so okay.
There we go.
Yep. And so my friend Mark Dempsey is going to be doing all the sound effects for it.
Really?
When we get to that point.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That's news. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. Is he doing okay?
He's doing great. He's
Great.
just seen him not too long ago, and he's plugging along.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Amazing. So, can you give the audience where to purchase the book? Where can you get the book?
Right now, this book is available on Amazon through Kindle.
Okay.
And in a few days or so, it'll switch from my first publisher to my second publisher, and then you'll be able to get the hardcover book or the paperback.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hardcover. That's cool.
And all through Amazon, iTunes, all of them. all
Okay.
those different levels. There's all kinds of places you can purchase the book.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Plus, I'm going to start going door to door.
Are you? Are you? That'd be cool, man. I mean, let's see. Come here. I mean, I could pick up another copy. That'd be cool. Well, we're getting ready to transition to another song that you are thinking about. We're going to have you play Black. Oh, Curtis. Yes. So tell me about Curtis. I forgot about this.
Okay, well, Curtis, in the book that is released now through Kindle, there's a chapter called The Legend of Curtis.
Yep.
And so I had written this song before I got to that chapter. And I thought to myself, wow, this will fit in the book. I could just slide it in there and create another avenue and go another direction. And so that's what I did. I slipped that book in.
So tell us a little bit about Curtis. We don't want to spoil for those reading.
Right.
it.
Well, Curtis was third generation Cajun that lived in the bayou outside this town.
Okay.
And he was around 93 years old when the town had decided they wanted to purchase all that land. They were going to flood it and create a
A dam.
well, more for like hunting and for fishing and stuff like that. And so they decided that he had to be removed from that area. They wouldn't let him homestead there any longer. And then the ending happens.
Okay. Read the book. Read the book.
Yeah, read the
Yeah,
book.
Lester used to talk about this song or the story why we would practice this song in Red Dirt, and I just remember him like, I've thought about writing a story about it, and now I've made it a song instead, and now it's back and it's
As
in
a
a story.
That's a story in your
Yeah.
book.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool. Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's hear it.
Okay. All right, so one called Curtis. Curtis lived in that bayou. He was 93. People here in these parts, hell, we let old Curtis be. One day it came to be. The sheriff said, hey, Curtis, you're gonna have to leave. Well, the sheriff came with 20 men. He said, Curtis, you don't have to do it this way, my friend. Curtis said, hey, Sheriff, take those boys and leave. No, I'm not going peacefully. This angered the sheriff's men, pulled their guns. Said no old man from the bayou gonna make us turn and run. Shots were fired, shots were shots are fired with the setting of the sun. In the bayou, darkness, you can't see a thing. The sheriff's man kept on disappearing. That morning, that next day morning light, just one man stood alive. 10 years later, Curtis is 103. People here in these parts would leave old Curtis be.
It was awesome, Lester. An awesome job, buddy. Love
thank
that
you.
song. Love that song. When we used to play, like you said, we played this in Red Dirt River Band. Did you? What did you think whenever we played this song? How did you enjoy the tune, or what did you think about it whenever we played it?
Oh, I think that Lester's really good at creating stories in his music.
Yeah.
And so I thought that I really, when we played the song, I often just envisioned this whole scene with Curtis and in the bayou.
Swampy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a really descriptive song, and then to hear Lester tell the story behind it, and then to read the chapter on it. I mean, the
Come full
storytelling.
circle.
Yeah, it definitely has gone through all of those. And you're just a great storyteller, and it made me think of what was going on.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you had mentioned about a new book that you were working on.
Yeah, the sequel to Ed Pinley Paranormal Investigator.
Okay.
And it's called Call Me Ed. And it's about, I'm going to keep it real simple because I want to have it be a surprise, but it's pretty much about a diary written in the late 1800s by a guy named Thunder Jack.
Okay.
And in the diary, he describes what happened to the Ross Gang. And the Ross Gang were the people that robbed the train. They robbed gold bullion off the train. And so they robbed the train, then they robbed the bank, and then they took off. They've never been discovered again. They don't know where the gold is or what happened to it. And so...
Now, Ross, is that a true story?
No.
Okay,
I
this
made
is
that
something you
up.
made. Okay, got you,
Yeah.
got you.
But that was...
See? Good storyteller.
I know, it is. I'm like,
yeah. And so years later, that diary is in an estate sale, and it gets transferred to another person who got the book. And she decided she wanted to, in the diary, Thunderjack describes the steps that he took to get to a place he needed to go to. And he had, in the book or in the diary, it was rumored that there was descriptions or hints as to where that money was hidden. And
Okay.
so that created a lot of interest in a lot of good people and a lot of interest in one big bad person, Mike the Treasure Hunter.
okay.
All right.
And it goes on from there.
All right. Now, when will we, where are you? You said you're about done with this, correct?
Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm very,
Okay.
very close.
Okay.
Portia and I have been editing it, and she's been doing a lot of editing and helping me keep it clear. And so I expect it's going to be out this year, maybe towards Christmas, I hope. That way everyone can buy it for
There
a
you go.
Christmas
There we
present.
go.
Presents.
Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm guessing your inspiration for the book would be it's a sequel to the next book. The
Right.
previous
It
book,
has the
so-
main characters, Ed, Violet, Xandra, and Richard,
Okay.
with a new introduction of a new character, Dranko,
Okay.
and Chester.
Okay.
And so it's a fun little book. It also is in the paranormal end of it. There's a 12-foot tall albino giant from a different dimension.
Nice. Love interdimensional aliens.
Albino giants.
Yeah, and his adventures with Thunderjack. And so they go through a lot of different things. Sasquatch is in it.
Oh, Zane's going to be excited about
You
that.
will.
Yeah, and then of course portals or dimensions to other worlds, and of course the alien Greys.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. From the last book. Cool. When you how will you announce that on Facebook? Where will people be able to see that book is
Right.
released?
It'll be on Facebook. On my Facebook page, it'll be on my publisher's page, which is Publify Publishing, and then I'll just kind of. And she's also does a lot of marketing and pushes the book around and stuff. So it'll be all over the place. I'm probably going to do I don't know what they call it, but it's a little thing you do in Amazon where they create this, like, I think it's a 1.5-minute film, and then the guy tells you all about the story.
The rest of the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll be looking forward to that when that comes out. So
Absolutely.
maybe an audiobook too.
Absolutely.
So all right, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's hear a couple songs. Let's go ahead and hear Black Flag Bandit
Okay.
and your other tune Dancing. So
Okay.
we'll do those back to
Sounds
back.
good.
And tell me a little bit about Black Flag Bandit.
All right, this is a fun story. I was living in Iowa, and across the street from me was a friend of mine called Scott. His name was Scott Ford, and his dad had been racing all of his life, and Scotty watched his dad race, and it was figure-8 dirt track racing. And
Is
after
it like Crash Up Derby kind of thing?
yeah, boy,
Okay.
there's a lot of accidents. They meet in the middle. I mean, they're all going as fast as they can on dirt with really fast cars. And his wife came to me one time and she said, "Listen, Scotty's going to turn 30." And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Will you write him a song?" And she handed me this napkin with all these notes on it about that occasion and about how Scotty grew up watching it. Now Scott was a driver, and his dad made the car go fast. He liked wrenching on it. And the first year that Scotty raced, he got tagged with the Black Flag Bandit because he caused a lot of accidents. And when the accident happens, the Black Flag comes out.
Okay, yeah.
They drag the cars off the track, and who's ever able to still run, have a go at it.
Otherwise, get off.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And so I wrote that song for him for his birthday.
That's cool. How long ago?
I would say probably 12 years ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It was probably the last year we were in Iowa, and then we came back to Colorado.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to grab this little strange instrument that I have,
All right,
which is called a strum stick. And the strum stick is a 3-stringed instrument,
Kind of like a dulcimer, right?
has a
Like
dulcimer fretboard,
Yeah.
and it gives you a chance to play a lot of notes with limited access
Right.
from your hands. So
Yes.
it's a very fun instrument. I suggest it to anybody who likes to just mess around with music, and this good way to begin, because the next step after this could be a guitar for somebody.
I'll share this story while you're getting situated. Every time we play everywhere, someone comes up and asks questions about this instrument.
I remember.
Every single time.
Because I had to talk. So I was just a vocalist, and everybody else had instruments that they were dealing with and tuning and all that kind of stuff. So I often
And I just hit
was
things.
speaking in between songs and things, and so I had a whole little speech prepared for the strum stick, just so I knew what to say in between songs. So yeah, it's a fun one.
Dirt track figure eight on a sweaty Iowa night. Got a cold beer in your hand, you got your wife by your side. Well, the night is young and the moon is full, and dance all night to some homegrown tunes. Get your dancing shoes, baby. We'll win it all night long. Scott Ford grew up watching his daddy race number 70 round the track. He took after his daddy's footsteps, became the Black Flag Bandit. Daddy liked to make the car go fast, you know. Scotty liked to go round and round. Known as Ford Motorsports in that little Iowa town. Dirt track figure eight on a sweaty Iowa night. Got a cold beer in your hand, you got your wife by your side. Well, the night is young and the moon is full, and dance all night to some homegrown tune. Get your dancing shoes, baby. Win it all night long. You win some, lose some too. You know it's just alright. A bunch of good old boys out to have a good time. When the dust settles and the crowd goes home, they drag that last car off the track. The only thing worth thinking about is when we get to come back. Dirt track figure eight on a sweaty Iowa night. Got a cold beer in your hand, you got your wife by your side. Well, the night is young and the moon is full. Dance all night to some homegrown tunes. Get your dancing shoes, baby. We're gonna win it all night long. Get your dancing shoes, baby. Gonna win it all night long.
You, yeah. Fabulous, fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that song. Black Flag Bandit, baby.
Yeah, Red Dirt River Band did this song too, so.
Yep.
That's right.
We got I mean, you got a few people covering this tune. You got the Currys, they play this tune.
Yeah, yeah.
So, tune called Dancin'. Let's
That's
hear
right.
what's the story behind this song, Lester?
I'm not sure. It might be because it might be because I can't dance very well.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, I got two left feet, and early on in my time of trying to dance, I learned that I could dance the polkas, because you just jump around and go in circles. So I could do that real well. And then later on in life, I learned that I could dance to Cajun music because they do the same thing.
Yes, exactly.
And so I ended up writing a song dancing, and I ended up playing it with a band in Iowa for my daughter's wedding. And
Oh,
so
really? That's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't
so-
know that. That's awesome.
So it's kind of a romantic song about dancing, and about two people who go out and dance, and they meet and they dance, and they get together and spend the rest of their life together.
It's beautiful.
Drumstick down.
A little costume change there. Dancing, romancing all night long. Held me so tightly through nearly every song. Dancing, romancing, let's go dancing tonight. Held me so tight
You held me tight.
all through the night. Then he took me home.
You took me home. We
Danced
danced
till
till
twilight,
twilight.
swinging and swaying. The band played his right. He held me so tightly on that August full moon night. Dancing, romancing, let's go dancing tonight. Held me so tight
You held me tight.
all through the night. Then he took me home.
You took me home. We danced till twilight.
Dancing, romancing all night long. Held me so tightly through never ending song. Dancing, romancing, let's go dancing tonight. All right, thank you.
That's freaking fabulous, Lester.
Thank
What?
you.
Hey, what was that teacher's name that said you couldn't play?
You know, I don't even remember it.
We'll eat your heart out. Awesome job, man. Awesome job.
Portia, that mandolin playing
Yes,
was awesome.
ripping,
Thank
sister.
you, thank you.
Yes.
This is such a fun song to play on, and you know, even at jam circles, you know, the kind of the golden rule is don't play an original. It's a jam buster. But whenever we play this song, it's just a fun song to play lead to.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like it's just a great progression, Lester. A great song.
I also like how it comes into. Didn't it start with the chorus? Is that the first part you sing, or is that the verse?
I think the Currys do it that way. They
Okay.
kind of made it their own.
Yep.
Which I like. I really dig that. I
Yep.
think that's fantastic.
It's a way cool song. I love how it does go into your verses out of the jam too. So very, very nice.
Yeah,
Very nicely
very.
written. Well, what can we expect in the future for you, Les?
Well,
What do we have going on?
Well, we're going to have that audio book, and we're going to have the second book to the Ed Pinley Paranormal Investigation called Call Me Ed. Portia and I have a 4-piece band,
Yep. Stone Kitchen.
Stone Kitchen, with Bob Bainbridge playing stand-up bass, and we were able to get Susanna Dane Porter to play fiddle with us.
She's amazing.
So we're going to go into Cool Brick Studio, I think, in
Really?
Carbondale.
Okay. Cool.
And record.
All right. When
We're
are you gonna
gonna-
start that process?
Hmm?
When are you starting that?
Well, that's hard to say because
Okay.
of how busy everybody is.
Right. Yep.
You know, the Queen Bees are out there. Stone Kitchen we're booked solid. And Suzanne is a wedding violinist.
Yep. So
She's also in the orchestra in Grand Junction, and she teaches.
yeah.
So,
And she's in the Queen Bees too.
and
yeah.
she's in the Queen Bees too. So the next, we're just going to start whittling each song out one by one.
Okay.
And it might take a little time to do it, but it's okay.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's
Yeah.
cool. When are you playing next? When can people come see you? Stone Kitchen, Queen Bees. What's
I think that our next gig is going to be
I believe it's Copper Club in
Fruta.
Fruta.
okay?
I believe
Cool.
so.
Coming up Sunday.
All right.
And then right after that is at a place called Trail Life in Grand Junction. Really
Okay.
cool brewery.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, very good food. And really fun.
Oh, that's downtown, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
downtown
seen
between-
that. Okay.
between
Yep.
4th and 5th.
Yep. Yep.
And
I've
it's
seen
these are all early gigs, which we like.
that. Yay.
Yay. Home before 10. Love it.
Yeah. Remember when we used to start gigs at 10?
Yeah, start gigs at 10 and get home about 4:45.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
those days.
Yeah. Yep. Well, let's close this out with one more tune. How about that?
Okay,
All
this
right.
sounds good. This
All
is
right.
one I wrote a while back, like probably, I'm not sure, a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. And then I started playing it, messing around with it, and then Portia got a hold of it. And she changed some of the verses, added some things, came up with a transition, a musical transition. And so now this is our song. We wrote it together. It's one called Just Like You.
All right.
Are you there?
There we are.
Okay.
Got it this time.
I've been alone before, broke and sore, just like you. I've been kicked around, lost and found, just like you. I've been misled, misunderstood, I've been lied to.
I've been swept off my feet, fell on my head,
Just like you.
I played the fool, broke all the rules,
Just like you.
took a fall, lost it all,
Just like you. When you're all alone, you chew to the bone.
can't see the light. You gotta try to get up. I'll try and lift you up, because I've been there too, just like you.
I've been alone before, broken, sore,
Just like you,
I've been kicked around, lost and found,
just like you,
been misled, misunderstood,
like you. I've been swept off my feet, landed on my head, just like you. I played the fool, broke all the rules, just like you. Took a fall, lost it all, just like you. When you're all alone and chilled to the bone, when you're down so low, you can't see the light. You gotta try to get up. I'll try and lift you up, because I've been there too, just like you. A song called Just Like You.
That's awesome. I don't think I've heard that song yet.
Yeah, that's kind of a new one that we've been working up. And I
Okay.
got to put one more thing in there. The Queen Bees were in Texas. We were on tour in Texas. And Portia and I was messing around with this song, and we were stuck. We were stuck on
Stuck
a
on
line that
one
we
line.
couldn't come up with a line. And the word master of the Queen Bees, Andrea Ware, helped us out with that one line.
Here we go.
And
Heck yeah.
She tied the song up for us, and here it is.
All right, there you go,
Yeah.
Andrea. Yes, awesome,
Yeah.
cool. Well, awesome, Lester. Thank you so much for coming and doing this. It's been a blast.
It's
really.
been a blast for us too. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely, and looking forward to many more adventures too with you too.
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank GrassRoots TV for doing this,
Yeah.
for allowing us to do this show on their channel, and we're super excited to do that. Next week, we are going to have Mr. John Rigger with us,
Ooh.
That'll be fun.
either remotely or in-house. So we will yet to be determined. So, but looking forward to doing more of these. I'd like to thank Jeremy Eisenhart. He's been a huge influence on me. He's so cute too.
Yes,
And no,
yes,
he's been awesome to do this with, and I'm thank you for all your support, brother. I appreciate you. That'll do it for this week's episode of Tunes at the Thompound. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, Clint.